and they're represented in our Athletes Village as well. Accessibility and design. We are the primary host of the Paralympic Games, so our village has had many, many accessibility improvements, and the village is not fully, while not fully accessible, will have 100 units of accessible accommodation. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the Athletes Village, which is probably the best example of our sustainability commitments. It has an innovative district energy system, which is offsetting about 90% of the energy needs required. The resident housing I mentioned, 85% of the units in the Athletes Village are attainable housing, 50% below the cost of market housing. It's a compact, walkable community. It's transit serviced. It has rainwater gardens, stormwater. We capped the landfill and we're gassing off the methane. We actually, when we developed the original pro formas in the business plan, included a 5% contingency or allocation for green building into the design of the building. You have to do sustainability up front. It's not an add-on. It's not something that is off the side of the desk. We use durable building materials. It's part brownfield site. And even more important, we decided the location. So when you move sustainability right, you have to move as far upstream as you can. And the original concept was to build the village down at the Callahan, which would have represented a sprawl development. We evaluated that, and we decided to pull it back into the urban containment boundary that was established as part of our long-term plan. So no sprawl, compact, served by transit. We committed, I think we'll be the first community in British Columbia to be carbon neutral for 2010. We did that in time for the Olympics. We thought, as Minister said, it is our time to showcase the leadership. Our relationships with First Nations are vastly improved. We have a cultural center. We are in a community forest partnership with them. Also, Linda would tell you that we made a conscious decision at the outset to reduce the size of the venues in order to reduce our ecological footprint. So our games are by a factor of 4 anyway, smaller footprint than past games. As an example, the ski jump in Whistler will accommodate about 8,000 spectators. In Lillehammer, they had 60,000. You can imagine the impact, the reduction, not just in greenhouse gases in size, but also cost. So in order to be financially and fiscally responsible, VANOC and Whistler have done a tremendous job there. So again, it's a great pride for me to be here, along with our host partners, City of Richmond, City of Vancouver, BC Hydro, VANOC, and the province of British Columbia. We are showcasing what BC can do, and we will show. These may be the greenest games ever, but I would like to reiterate something that Acting Mayor Reimer said, is it's not good enough to be the greenest. We have a lot of work to do. The games are not sustainable. I usually put that caveat out in front, but I'll conclude with it to remind ourselves of how much work we have to do. We call them the Sustainability Games because we're doing the best that we can at the time, and I think Mr. Mueller mentioned that. We do have much more to go, and if we can tell that story to the world and have as our legacy that each games in succession will be ever more sustainable than we will have done our work. Thank you.
So we're making good time here, and I have a few closing comments. First of all, it's been great to share a podium with this illustrious table. It's really quite a collection of very dedicated and committed people and their organizations. I'd like first to say that this is not greenwash. It's very important for everyone, I believe, to understand that an awful lot of work has gone into this, and it's real. Part of the LEED certification is it's third party, and it's vetted and audited, and it's for real. So the achievement is real. Suzuki the other day came out and awarded the Games bronze, but he did cite buildings as being a very progressive part of the VANOC's work, and the Olympics as being quite progressive. So for Minister Mary McNeil, Congratulations to you and to the province in your leadership in sustainable design. I know it's very personal and very strongly supported by the Premier, and you're very lucky to have him as your leader and pursuing these things. Should point out to the audience that the province supports LEED Gold for every facility that they invest in financially, from hospitals to courthouses to schools and so on. And that's, again, the most progressive province in Canada. To Linda Cody, who I met 5 odd years ago, you have no idea how hard she's worked. It's not possible for anybody to know. And she worked uphill. In the early, there was tremendous escalation in the cost plans for the venues in the early years. And you struggled to maintain your grip on sustainability as one of the targets and one of the achievements of the Olympics, and you did. So congratulations to you. The numbers are quite impressive. I wasn't aware that the Salt Lake City Games, you've less than half of that in terms of tons of emission, and you've taken the whole kind of 7-year picture, and that's quite impressive, very impressive. To Bev Van Ryven, well, I sit on her board, so I can't be too nice to her. So, but you know, Hydro is deeply committed to supporting green buildings in the province. There's lots of things that we've been doing for years, and Bev's led the PowerSmart division for years, and much more to come. We've got lots of things in the hopper, which will be rolled out in the near future. Obviously, our participation, Hydro's participation in presenting PowerSmart Village, a facility you must go look at, as well as all of the things that we've done as part of this program in supporting the development of the buildings. One statistic that I like is compared to the Turin Olympics, they had 600 gensets running full time during the actual facilities, or the running of the facilities. I believe we have none running. They're there as backups that we're able to provide. BC Hydro Power is 90% carbon-free, so that's a huge and significant difference. And when she talks about all the work that's been done getting the facilities ready and getting the dual sources of power for all the facilities and backup for a trouble-free and Olympics, it's hard work. To Deputy Mayor Andrea Reimer, first of all, I want to press that little button. That's a joke. Well, see, what happens is lots of times architects come and speak in front of the mayor and council, and Andrea's a particularly powerful and persuasive chair, and she's got this little thing. She tells you to shut up. Sit down. No, more seriously, you know, Vancouver has an incredible agenda. The mayor and council are leaders in the country. They do have this Greenest City initiative, and they are making so many different advancements, whether it's changes in bylaws or changes in rezoning procedures, or there's just so many things that they're doing across the board, and their objective to become the Greenest City period is well in hand. I was not aware that you've achieved 22% reduction in emissions over 1990. That's a significant statement. Imagine if we as a country had achieved that. We'd be looking good instead of looking the way we do, actually. Greg, the facility, the Olympic Oval facility, and your work on it, it's a stunning facility. I think a number of the consultants are here. Marion LaRue is here from Canon, and Jeff is here from Globman, the engineer. I don't know whether Paul Fass is here, but it's one of the stunning facilities. I probably should have mentioned all the architects, not just for that facility, but I'm so taken with the architecture and the structure there that it's worth mentioning. And Ken, well, I've already introduced you and talked about your leadership as a community, I do remember the first triple bottom line discussions that we had maybe 10 years ago were adopted by Whistler, and you continue to show leadership, and it's great to hear about all the things that your community is doing. So with that, that's my closing remarks. I've got to ask if you'll excuse a couple of people on the podium. I guess Greg and Mayor Ken and Mary McNeil have to be excused to another facility and another meeting. So if you'd like to go, I've just got a couple of administrative things that I'm going to follow up with while they're gone. So thank you very much, everyone.